Well, there's a new appeal from hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team is seeking his immediate release from federal prison, calling his 50-month sentence on charges of transportation for prostitution excessive. CB Cotton has the details live from our New York newsroom. Good to see you, CB.
Hey, Lydia. Well, once one of the most powerful names in hip-hop, Sean Diddy Combs is now behind bars at that federal facility in Fort Dix, New Jersey, but his legal team says he should have never been sent there for this long. So on Tuesday, in an 84-page filing, Combs' attorneys asked a New York federal appeals court to immediately release Combs and send the case back for a new sentencing or grant him an acquittal. In July, a jury found Combs guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution and acquitted him of the most serious charges, racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. In the fall, the judge then sentenced Combs to a little more than 4 years behind bars, citing testimony from former girlfriends who said they felt pressured to participate in drug-fueled sex parties with male escorts called hotel nights or freak-offs. But the rapper's lawyers argue this sentence was punishment for crimes that the jury rejected. They wrote in the filing, quote, "He sits in prison today serving a 50-month sentence because the district judge acted as a 13th juror. The judge defied the jury's verdict and found Combs, quote, coerced, exploited, and forced his girlfriends to have sex and led a criminal conspiracy," end quote. Throughout the appeal, Combs' attorneys go on to describe the case as an unfair prosecution of consensual sex between adults. We're monitoring to see whether prosecutors file a reply to these arguments from Combs' defense team, but we know during the trial that prosecutors repeatedly accused the former hip-hop mogul of trying to minimize his actions. For now, Combs remains in prison with a projected release date for early 2028. Lydia.
CB, I'd be willing to bet those prosecutors are going to start working on the reply just as soon as this holiday's over, if they haven't already. Yeah. Great to see you, CB. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
CB, Lydia, thank you very much. For more on this, let's bring in trial attorney Kelly Hyman. Kelly, I want to start just by sort of resetting the stage and reminding our viewers what Diddy was actually found guilty of. So take a look. It was racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Sex trafficking, 2 counts, not guilty. But transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts, he was found guilty. Now, of course, there was damaging reputational evidence throughout the trial, including domestic violence and the tales about the freak-offs and all that. Is it true, in your view, what his lawyers are arguing, that the sentence of 4 years in prison was too much?
Does the punishment fit the crime? I think that's going to be key. So when we look at this case, we have to think about what exactly Diddy was found guilty of. He was found guilty of transportation across state lines in order to engage in prostitution. Now, the prosecution was asking for at least 11 years in prison. However, Diddy wanted him to be released right away. So when we look at the actual charges, we have to remember that Diddy now is serving 50 months in jail. And so a lot of people believe that that, in fact, is fair, while Diddy is arguing that that is, in fact, excessive.
All right, I want to turn now to this case from Milwaukee with Judge Hannah Dugan, who was found guilty of a felony obstruction charge, but was found not guilty of a misdemeanor concealing charge after helping an illegal immigrant evade federal immigration authorities. Her lawyer described something that happened during the trial. Listen here.
The mixed verdict is the big thing from the defense perspective. You know, the same elements of count 1 are in count 2. In count 2, how can you find guilty there and not guilty on the first? But that's why we asked for the post-trial briefing.
So I guess that it matters if Judge Dugan knew who exactly ICE was going after in this instance. What do you make of, you know, as the attorney just put it, a split verdict here?
So we have to look at what exactly she was charged with, and she was charged with 2 counts. Now, they were both obstruction or interference. Now, one was a misdemeanor and the other charge was a felony. So when we look at the misdemeanor, did she have the intent? Did she have the specific intent to interfere? Now, in regards to the felony, did she interfere, and did that cause an issue with the officers not being able to arrest him? So the defense is arguing that the fact that there was a split verdict, that they found her not guilty of the misdemeanor and guilty of the felony, is inconsistent and potentially trying to get her determined that, in fact, that split verdict was incorrect, and in fact that she should not have any type of penalty for this.
And you talk about how important the intent is here. I want to show you some new audio that some would say is essentially an admission of guilt. Listen here.
5 ice guys in the hall.
5 what?
Ice guys in the hall. Ice.
What's the name of the client?
Eduardo Flores.
What are you asking for?
Just another date.
Okay. Get a date off the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Right now. I'll do it. Okay. I'll get that. Ms. De La Rosas, take your client out and come back and get a date. Okay.
I just heard the judge say right there, quote, "I'll take the heat." I do need to ask for a pretty quick answer here, but is that an admission of guilt, that she knew what she was doing?
Ultimately, that was for the jury to make that determination. And so when we looked at the verdict, the jury came back and found her guilty of the felony charge. So they weigh the evidence and look at the totality of the circumstances. And based on that, they felt that she should be guilty of that charge.
Well, she is seeking a new trial. We will see what comes of it. Kelly, thank you so much for your time, and Merry Christmas.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.